This is how I started an online business out of college with no money. So I went to a small private liberal arts school in Florida, majored in business, minored in marketing and advertising. I always really liked advertising. However, I had no idea what I wanted to do. My favorite show was Mad Men. I just thought it was so creative, so ingenious, how something can be so complicated yet look so simple, so sleek, and so beautiful. I ended up doing a few internships, but one of my internships was at an ad agency where I worked in the business department. However, I loved the creative department. The creatives worked in a basement and they had a basketball court and a karaoke stage thing, and they got to drink IPAs and they just got to do their own thing and be creative, and it was awesome. I always thought that was super cool, but I wasn't a graphic designer. And there was a lady there that was about 26 who worked as a social media manager. That's when I started being interested in social media. I thought it was a good way to connect with both the creative side and the business side. However, working in social media required experience, and I didn't want to work my way up, and I just wanted to have the job that I wanted. And I've also always been interested in living in other cities as well as living in other countries. At the time, I had a plan to move out to LA, and in college I was applying for social media jobs in LA. However, the competition is super high, thousands of applicants per job, and most of the jobs required you be a local first. So I just decided to take matters into my own hands and start my own online business in social media. And before you click out of this video, because you don't want to do social media, I have details that I'm going to give you that you can take and use for any online business in any industry, whether it's product-based or service-based. So I spent my whole last semester of college prepping my business to take it live at the time that I graduated. I didn't worry about picking up clients yet. I just worried about graduating school and having everything I needed to have this business ready to go live, ready to get my first client as soon as I graduated. So what did I do? The first thing I did was pick out a business name. I ended up going with Damn Good Media. I checked the IRS database for trademark names to see if Damn Good Media was already trademarked, and it was not, even though there were one or two other businesses that were going by Damn Good Media as well. At that point, I bought the domain damngoodmedia.net, and I registered my business name with the IRS, who was able to provide me with an EIN number that allowed me to report my income, pay taxes, and operate a business as an independent contractor. Then I registered my business with my state and my county, and I was able to obtain a business license through my county or state. Once I did these legal parts, I designed my website, and I just used Wix.com. It's just a web host like Shopify, and there's a few other ones that allow you to build a website without being a graphic designer. You do have to pay for it, but you don't have to pay for it until you decide to make it live. So I spent a lot of time working on it, and I believe I got a huge discounted rate because I don't know if it's because it was my first website or what. I did that. I started social media accounts and started working on my aesthetic for my brand, and I designed business cards through Canva. And this was a great way to work with what other graphic designers had come up with for templates. I believe my business card was a template, and I just modified it a little bit with the design to make it more my style. And I actually uncovered one business card. I threw out all my business cards about a year ago, but I found one in an old wallet. So this is what it looked like. And I have the website name at the bottom. And then on the back, I have my name, what I do, digital media management and private contracting. And then I had my email and my contact number. So Canva was a little bit more expensive to order them through. There are plenty of other companies you can order business cards for super cheap from, but I just really liked the quality. I was able to get it matted, a thicker business card, so it just seemed more quality. I also used Canva to start some social media posts that had more graphics that I couldn't design myself because I'm not a graphic designer. And I was able to post those on my site, post those on a Facebook business page, which I highly, highly recommend for any business, and an Instagram page, and I believe a Twitter page as well that I later ended up deleting. I just didn't need it. So all of these things I did myself. I was the labor, I kept the cost to a bare minimum, and I did it all while I was still in school and not ready to even launch my business. And this gave me a huge head start and gave me only one thing to focus on when I left college, which was getting a client. Another optional thing to do if you are really, really sure this is like the name that you want to go by, the business that you want to pursue long term, is you can trademark your business yourself. That's going to be about another $350-ish, I believe. So once I did all that, I graduated school and started scouting out my first client. And how I did that was I went to numerous websites. I had no idea how to find my first client. I really didn't. So it was a lot of trial and error. I checked out Indeed for searching for private contractors, Monster, like all the job websites, Craigslist, even Facebook, LinkedIn, a lot of LinkedIn. And I also checked out AngelList. I did apply for several. I also looked on Upwork, which I don't really recommend Upwork just because it's a lot of work to even find a client on there, and the rates are just so low because everyone is bidding on a client and you're competing with international employees who are willing to work for a fraction of what you are. I do not recommend that as a long-term strategy. However, a lot of people have had luck with it in a sense that they're able to find a repeat client that they can take off Upwork. I ended up getting my first client in 6 days. And how I did that was I found a startup on AngelList, which is a website for startup companies to find employees and contractors. And it was a coconut oil company based in Sri Lanka. So I had reached out to several businesses, had not had a lot of luck. Then I found this startup on AngelList and decided to take another approach, and I made a video of myself explaining how exactly I would grow their social media and work on their brand. Once I did this, the lady reached out to me and decided to have a Zoom call with me, and we discussed things further. She was a startup with very little money to operate with, and I was a new contractor with very little experience and not too much to back myself up, so I could not charge very much. It worked out for both of us, and we worked together all the way until I closed my business, which I'll talk about in a later video. By the way, if you do find this video helpful, could you please hit the thumbs up button? That would mean a lot to me. And if you are interested in hearing more about this business, hit the subscribe button because I will post more videos on how I did all this later on. It's just a lot. So I made this YouTube video. It was a different approach. It was the only thing that got me to gain my first client by myself, because otherwise you're just another application, you're just another resume. So we got talking, I started working for her. At this point, things just escalated and it was a ripple effect and it was amazing. And I hear this happen all the time with businesses and freelancers, and this seems to be the number one way to grow business is just referrals. It's like once you have a client or two and you're doing a good job, they are going to talk about you and people are going to ask around. And especially in an industry like social media, like it's in such high demand right now, it just worked out really great for me. She referred me to her husband who owned a invoicing software based in Sri Lanka. That ended up working out really well. I was able to up my price just a little bit and I had another client and I was making more money and I was getting more experience. I continued to get referrals and I also ended up getting a client from an old internship of mine. And with each client, I raised my prices because I was getting more experience. I was increasing my value. It was a ripple effect that was just beautiful. So I feel like I ran through that a little fast. I just feel like I could spend hours and hours talking about this and explaining to you how to start a business. It is something anyone can do. I don't care what skills you have, what industry you're in. At every industry, there is somebody working on a computer. So there is opportunity for you. I truly believe that. So anyways, I'll stop rambling. If you do want to hear more, you want me to elaborate on something, or you have a question about something, please leave it in the comments. I will also put links in the description for where to register your business and where to check the database to see if your name is trademarked and where to find a domain, things like that. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Software based in Sri Lanka. They made Sri Lanka. But
Missing someone.